What's up, gang? What's up, gang? We're back. Hope everyone had a very Merry Christmas. Coming to you a day late. Felix is unavailable for today's episode, but fear not. Back by popular demand, we got Stavy Baby in the cut.
That's right.
Stav, what's going on?
We needed someone that fucks 8 times as much as Felix. And
right.
Here I am, wiping the pussy juice from my mustache just in time to get down and dirty for some fucking relationship questions.
Yeah, we need to have a certified sex haver in the chat today because we're back by popular demand. We got a whole episode full of relationship drama.
I love it.
We got some Dear Prudie questions. We got an amazing New York Times article about this lady who hates her fucking husband and the trip they took to Australia. So here we go. So for our first up on the slate of relationship drama is North Carolina Congressman Madison Cawthorn.
Hell yeah.
Homie's been going through it. He's getting divorced. But
Nice. Madison, his name is Madison Cawthorn.
yeah, are you familiar with Madison Cawthorn?
I'm not. I would have guessed. That sounds like a blonde girl with fake tits. You know what I
Well,
mean?
yeah, you're very close.
That sounds like a very specific kind of, like a mid-tier pornographic starlet is Madison Cawthorn.
Sort of
I
like
love it.
in the MILF genre.
You know, I'm thinking she's close to aging into the MILF genre, but I'm still thinking of her as, you know, she's still girl next door type. I think Madison's
Stuck in dryer.
Yeah, absolutely. She's stuck in the dryer, step bro. She needs some help. That's the vibe I'm getting from the name Madison. You know.
Well, you're not far off. I mean, he is a bimbo and he is blonde.
Ooh,
but he is also it's sort of a specialty area of pornography. He's confined to a wheelchair.
Oh, hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. So basically, he's like Dr. Strangelove without the sort of humor or accent.
Talent, or intelligence, anything
Yeah, or
like
intelligence.
that.
Yeah.
The best part is that he got paralyzed in a drunk driving accident with his bros coming back from spring break or something. But
Yo,
he
respect.
he sold himself to the dimwits of his district as a troop
Sick.
who caught it in the line. He's like pseudo stealing valor every day in his little wheelchair.
That's awesome. Honestly, that's the best kind of, that's an awesome lie, because he probably never specifically said that, you know, an IED took his fucking, you know, spine or whatever the fuck. But he always talks about serving, I'm guessing, and then he's just in a wheelchair. So people aren't going to be assholes. No one's going to be like, oh, how did it happen? No one's going to, you know, unless it's like, you know, that honestly, that could be a nice a plot line to Curb. It's like, you know, Larry David making him clarify how exactly he got paralyzed. I like that. Respect to this bimbo Madison, who apparently is going through it. I don't know shit about. It sounds sort of vaguely familiar, but I don't really know who this guy is.
Like most people assume that he was wounded in the line of duty, but I suppose driving drunk back home from spring break is service in a way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was, you know, if he was driving his friends, you know, that's the most noble thing you can do.
Yeah, what if he was the least drunk one? You guys ever think of that? Oh, you wanted the drunker guy to drive. No. He was stepping up, he was being a hero. And, you know, sometimes in the line of duty, you fucking can't walk.
One more
maybe a family, you know, maybe they die also, but you got to go slam a
it's called collateral damage.
You got to slam a big gulp full of margaritas and try and finger pop some bitches down on Myrtle Beach. You know what I'm saying? It's the American way.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to stop him from that.
Just one more detail of note about Madison Cawthorn.
Yes.
As you will see in this clip, he's a big fan of going on vacations, and he's a big fan of history. So when he went on vacation to Germany, he took a trip to the Eagle's Nest, and he referred to it as the Führer's Eagle's Nest. He's a big. He loves history. Okay.
Yeah,
he loves the history of World War II specifically,
sure.
and just certain aspects of World War II history.
That is so. It's so crazy how quickly we got to just straight loving Nazis. Like it's not even. It's what is it? 2021. We haven't even got 100 years. And like the people whose grandfathers were killing Nazis are just like, yeah, some of their ideas were kind of good. That's fucking insane, dude. Like Greece is the same way, where it's like half of Greek people are like, Greece.
Yeah, they're
all
fascists.
of Europe is like half are fascist, half came from fascists, half came from communists, and it's just like, bro, come on, this just happened. And you motherfuckers you still think like your grandmother got ran through by Mussolini's boys, and you still think we shouldn't have people of other races? You think they're the problem? But anyway, sorry to digress.
No, it's an important digression. Anti-fascism. Is what we stand for on the podcast here. But okay, so just in light of his recent divorce, someone surfaced this clip of him giving an interview to the Daily Caller about how he met his wife, or now ex-wife.
Sick.
And
who is a Instagram fitness thought.
Ooh, what's her fucking shit? Do we have some? Can I look her up real fast?
Yeah.
Here, give me her name.
I just put like Madison Cawthorn, wife or ex-wife.
Yeah, good call. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'll do my own research while you.
So you do your research, and Chris, bring up the clip of Madison talking about how he met Mrs. Madison.
And so we took the risk to do that surgery. And so when I decided to do that, I said, well, doctor, let me go on one last trip just in case I'm not going to be able to ever get on an airplane again. And then, so he said, okay, and you'll be in a lot of pain. I said, it's worth it. So me and a bunch of my friends, we went to, we got to go over to, very close to Russia. Went to Sweden and Norway. And we had just an incredible vacation. It was great. I was in a lot of pain the whole time, but it was wonderful. But then we got on a boat and went into St. Petersburg in Russia. And, we just decided to take $100 each and go into a casino and see how it went. And, I ended up meeting an American there who was a captain in the Army and who was originally from Miami. And so we hit it off, created a really great relationship, and stayed in contact for about a year and a half until later I was down in Miami for work. And he texted me and said, hey, would you like to come compete in a CrossFit competition? And so I laughed and said, well, Todd, I'm in a wheelchair. I obviously can't do CrossFit. And he said, well, just do the pull-up section. I was like, okay, sounds good. And so I show up. But anyways, it all was a sham. It was a fake CrossFit competition. He just wanted me to put me in the same room with the girl who was eventually going to become my fiance. And so we did. And her and I hit it off.
What?
It was it's been a magical relationship ever since.
What the fuck?
Okay. All right.
What?
So,
oh man, yeah. Go ahead. I got a lot of thoughts on this.
So, obviously, the libs are being extra loony about this, and they're like, "Oh my god, this is a 5-alarm fire. This is a honeypot. It's just, from Miami, former Army captain. I smell agency." Yes. And, I met him in a Russian casino. Yeah. And also, him and his buddies are like, yeah, we took $100 each into a Russian casino. Be like, slow down there, high roll.
Yeah. They were purchasing child sex slaves, is what he didn't mean. He was like, look, I heard the dollar to ruble's looking pretty good in St. Petersburg.
Damn. I mean, they're all setting this up he was groomed to have some sort of spy be his wife, and and now that Putin has elected a wheelchair bound congressman to some district in North Carolina, his plan has been achieved, and the wife, she's going dancing, she's ditching Madison. Okay, of course, but I think everyone who is making fun of Madison for this is secretly jealous that they don't have the type of friends that they met in a Russian casino who would create a phony CrossFit event for a paralyzed man so that they could meet their future wife. That is bro shit.
Dude, okay. A couple great things here. You're absolutely correct. There's one angle which is like, this is just a really, really good friend. Who's gonna get a bunch of jacked people in a room fucking doing pull-ups so Madison feels great. But the other thing is, if this is a lie, first of all, your friend can't just be like, hey man, there's this girl I want you to meet. Let's go get drinks. Is this and he you're not interested in that, Madison? That's not something you're like, he's like, yeah, dude, there's this girl. Yeah, I know you guys are gonna hit it off. But then also it's like, if you're gonna lie, if you're gonna do a sham, then why would you pick CrossFit for a guy in a wheelchair? Why would you have to qualify your lie? I don't fucking understand that. And it's also like, what do you mean it was a sham? Did it happen at all? Do they have a couple guys there just lifting? What? I want to know how much of a sham, how deep this colonel from Miami or wherever the fuck he is went in on this, but that is so fucking funny.
Negative points to Madison for not using the opportunity to call it a Potemkin CrossFit festival, because that would have actually been very appropriate given where he was at the time. By the way, her Instagram handle is Christina _Bae, BAE 4. Christina, though, with no H, so spelled in an obnoxious style.
I'm in here. I'm checking out Christina. Listen, I got to say, I'm liking what I'm seeing.
She's single now.
Christina is back. Yeah, she is single.
She's got honestly, powerful haunches. You cannot deny that.
Bro, I have thought for the longest time that there has got to be a small segment of the CrossFit woman population that just wants to fuck just a fat because they hate fat people, right? Like it's in their blood. No one does
weak.
CrossFit.
It's disgusting. They hate them.
Yeah, exactly. No one does CrossFit because they like think all bodies are okay. You know what I mean? Like anyone who does that kind of extreme working out. These aren't even like, bodybuilding. These are a specific kind of person that like, was a fat child and didn't get love, or like, had fat bull, or just these are people that like they had or maybe had like an abusive fat parent or something. Like these are people that hate fat people, right?
Yeah.
There has got to be one or two of these girls that just want to just fuck a fat guy and just mush his face and call him a fat piece of shit while they're just riding him. And so I think me and Christina might have something here. This might be something where she's just, she's just like wants to fuck, but she's like, feeding me like fucking whipped cream and shit. And she's like, you like that, don't you, you fat fucking piece of shit? And I'm like, yes, mommy, I do. Oink, 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 oink. And it's like, I would be all in on that. So
you got to get to St. Petersburg. Start talking to any army guy you see.
I'm trying to take that canoe from Sweden to St. Petersburg, or whatever the fuck Madison said the boat he took in.
Stav, unrelated. I don't know if you're free this weekend, but I've organized a pie eating contest, and I'd like you to come.
Bro, what a good guy. Yes, I'm there. I'm there to meet the future woman of my dreams. I would get there. I would be so pissed if there was no. That would be the difference. I would get there and I would be pissed off that there's no fake pie. There was a fake pie eating contest.
Just Ilsa, she-wolf of the SS Fitness Division.
Dude, I'm so in. I've said this before, and look, if there's any strong girls listening, and you check the box, even if you're not Christina _Bay 4, I'm listening. Hit my DMs.
So Madison Cawthorn, I mean, homie's going through it right now, and he needs broke hair. He needs broke hair badly right now.
Sure. Yeah.
It's when your honeypot wife leaves you.
Do we have any like details of what's going on, or has anyone been outed? Have there been any leaked DMs, anything fun, or do we just know
no, it's all mysterious.
It's a conscious uncoupling.
Something awesome is gonna leak in like a couple months. I can feel it in my bones.
He released a video of himself at a gun range, dual wielding, but having not locked down his wheelchair, so with the recoils actually making it roll backward.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I would love to.
I don't know if I would trust him in a tactical scenario. Not just, of course, start spinning around and murk all of his buddies.
I would love to be in Madison Cawthorn's secret elite military unit for people who have never served in the military.
Yeah, hell
and
yeah.
So he'll be in his chair. He'll be dual wielding Uzis, and I'll just have rollerblades, and I'll just be like skating behind him.
Yeah,
just gliding, and it'll be
yeah,
and then like do a full 360 spin, take out the whole room.
Yes, that would fucking rock, dude. No, I would love to. Yeah, so he's just out. Now, do we know, let me ask this. Do we know if his dick works? Because that's huge.
That is a giant question mark that has not been ever addressed, I don't think. And I always see it as partially paralyzed, even though he needs the wheelchair. And I saw him at the RNC. He's got the skinny legs. So I think the dick is probably in the phantom zone, like a liminal. I mean,
usually with spinals, I mean, like the terrible thing is that your dick works and achieves sexual response, but you don't feel it.
Wow.
I mean, which like that could actually be, that could actually work to your advantage, in terms of lasting longer.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't have to think about baseball or whatever.
Absolutely. You're just going through the motions.
But I mean,
okay,
I don't
interesting.
know. I'm wondering though. I mean, if Madison has really put in the time to cultivate strong pussy eating tactics, because you gotta, when nature, it's like Daredevil. It takes away one sense, others must be heightened.
Dude, trust me, I know all about that. I'm Daredevil. That's what I love about dick pills just being so easy to get recently. Is I feel like I'm Daredevil, and then like at age 32, they were like, "Here are eyes, Daredevil. You can also see now." And I feel unstoppable now. So Yeah, I totally know. I could see exactly what Madison absolutely. We need to put him through the school of pussy eating. We need to fucking get that guy a course. Maybe like, is there a pussy eating like version of, remember Andy Dick's character in Old School?
Oh yeah.
Who gives the blowjob class?
Yeah.
We need that equivalent. We need like a no nonsense lesbian to teach him how to eat pussy.
Well,
Sort of like a Hitch type situation for
We
him.
need a pussy eating Hitch for Madison. Yeah.
but like his idol, the Fuhrer, was reported to have only one small ball. So
Whoa.
Men of destiny are often challenged by God.
That's true. What if he like just swerved whatever Nissan Altima he was driving that fateful day? He was like, "This is for Hitler," and he just fucking ran into a school bus, and he was like, "Hopefully, it makes my dick small and not usable, like Hitler's." It's possible. We can't rule it out.
Yeah. All right. Well, so that's relationship number one. Check that off. All right,
Madison, we're thinking of you, buddy. Okay, you're gonna be okay. Somebody else is gonna try and set you up with a different honeypot wife who doesn't care that your dick doesn't work.
All right, so moving on from Madison, let's go into some Dear Prudie questions. Stav,
Okay.
people like one of our most popular episodes was you're responding to Dear Prudie letters, and I guess I should just introduce this segment with the caveat that all of these letters are fake. All of these letters are written by like MFA people who are just like, I want to get published somewhere.
right. Even if no one knows it.
Yeah,
for my
even
ego.
if it's anonymous. All right, so the first one is. Question, like mother, like daughter. Okay. I am a 50-year-old widower, and a friend of mine introduced me to Susan, someone she knows who is my age and divorced, thinking we could hit it off. We have gone out a couple of times, and it went well, but I had this strange feeling that something was familiar about her. Our mutual friend showed me Susan's Facebook page, and I saw something shocking. Years ago in my 20s, living in another city, I dated Jackie, a woman 30 years my senior. We got along well, but the age difference was too much, so we amicably parted ways. She was uncomfortable with others knowing about our relationship, so we agreed never to discuss it with anyone. On Susan's page was a memorial to Jackie. It turns out Susan is Jackie's daughter. I'm not sure what to do about this. Should I tell Susan about my past relationship with her mother? Should I wait to tell her later or not tell her at all? It has created an awkward situation, and I'm not sure what to do.
Wow, this is fucking. I mean, yeah, it is fake, but I want to live in a world where this is real. So he says,
just go over to Brazzers.com. All your dreams will be made reality.
So memoriam. So yes, this is
Jackie
fake because Jackie's dead. So it gives
no
this guy
three-way
the
then.
out.
God damn it.
Yeah, you can't. Interesting. So this man taxed her mom, and now he's in a good relationship with her. It just kind of depends, I guess. Does he have the gumption? What kind of guy is this? Is he the kind of guy that can take a secret? Because look, this is like a lightweight secret, all things considered. This isn't a murder. This isn't. You didn't do anything fucking that horrible. You know what I mean? Like you just got head from a lady's mom that you really like. And in fact, I feel like this might be. It could be really fun because you could let's say you have kids with this. You have kids with this woman and she's talking about grandma, and then that gives a nice little element where you're just like, you could be talking to your kids and be like, yeah, you never met your grandma, but she was pretty fucking cool. She was fucking grandma. I've only heard stories, but let me just say, grandma, pretty chill, if you catch my drift. I guess if you want to be a good guy in this scenario, you have to be like, hey, this is crazy, but I think I may. I say you said you went on a date and you never. But I don't know. Once you start telling half truths, and how much pussy did he get from her mom? That's important. Is this? If you didn't fuck, tell her immediately. But it sounds like.
Yeah, it sounds like they had a relationship, and see, my question about this letter is that he said years ago in another city, I dated a woman 30 years my senior named Jackie. and she didn't want to like talk about the relationship to anyone. It was sort of kept a secret. I mean, it seems to me the letter writer is confessing to being a gigolo at a different point in his life.
Yeah. Well, he was just some young cock that Jackie had on the sneak. You know what I mean? So honestly, okay, here's what it is. If Jackie was good to you, you honor her wishes and you never tell anybody about eating her pussy. But if she, maybe mistreated you, it's like, guess what? Now everybody's going to know you fucked me back in the day. Especially your daughter. This could be karma. He could be the, God could be working through him where it's like, yeah, Jackie thought she got away with it, but now the whole family's going to know, especially if he has pictures. What would be really funny would be like, hey, babe, check this out. And he's just like, in a birthday card, he just has a picture of him getting his dick sucked by her mom. This also gives, honestly, this gives a really good opportunity if it's a bad relationship to break up in the funniest way possible. Because imagine you're this woman and this guy that's your age is like, yeah, 30 years ago, your mom sucked my dick, bitch. I don't care. You can't hurt me.
I feel like this letter is like the is the advice-seeking version of that meme that's like girls of the time machine versus boys of the time machine. And the girls are like, oh my God, you're my grandmother. And the boy's like, what's up? What's the move?
Yeah. Can I get some head one more time? All right. I like that. I like that as the breakup. Hopefully the relationship doesn't work. Hopefully this woman does something heinous to you and you can just be like, your mom sucked my cock.
All right. Next letter here.
Yes.
Dear Prudence, I'm having an issue with my father I can't figure out what to do with. About 10 years ago, he kicked my mom out of the house and moved in with a woman that he met at a strip club, Brenda, who then fell head over heels for. She was a nice woman, but she didn't love him. She said so. Then she died and it ripped him apart. He's now living in a different state, and when I went to visit him, he told me that nobody down there knows about my mother who died last year, and that Brenda was his only wife, and I presume also my mother. He didn't acknowledge my mother's birthday to me, but every year gets a hold of me on the anniversary of Brenda's death to remember her. It really hurts, and I love my father, but I'm not sure I can keep up communication with him. I'm just so angry. What should I do about that?
Wow.
Damn, Brenda.
Wow, Brett, you know it yanked. You know what I'm saying? You know, Brenda had some skills, brother, to keep this up posthumously.
Mother of my children, whatever. Brenda from the strip club, an eternal flame burning.
Bro, it's so sad how we can pretend the human beings are complicated. We can but if we really get down to it, the person you think about the most, the person you're even saddest about, is the person that fucked the best from your past. I know it's true for me. I can intellectualize it, whatever the fuck. But when it really comes down to it, is the freakiest motherfuckers that you fuck, there's a place in your heart forever for them. And that's this lesson. Whatever Brenda had going on completely superseded, having a child, the marriage, all this shit that we're pretending is important. Let's get down to brass tacks. Something was up with Brenda, and I think if you're the reader, you need to take this as a lesson in your own life. Are you Brenda or are you your mom? You know what I mean? Start being Brenda. Your mom was bullshit. That's the lesson here. Fuck her. Forget about it. It's all about Brenda. You need to start living your life like Brenda so that one day a man can talk about you to his kids who hate you. I think that's the only lesson to glean.
The lesson for the reader here might be like, yes, embrace the grim and brutal truth about you'll remember the best blowjob you got over like your kids being born on your death, whatever. But but if that's the case, like don't share that with your children.
Okay, I guess that's a fair. That's the centrist way to go about it.
Keep it to yourself, and I feel for the letter writer in quotation marks here because it's just like his dad moved to another state and like all of his social circle just thinks like her mom is some floozy he met in a strip club.
Yeah. I mean, the dad is an incredible guy. He's pretty great. This is a real guy, he is a fucking gem and a half. Because that's the other thing is like you didn't need to make them pretend. You need to make people think Brenda's her mom. That's
that's cruel.
fucking wild. That's to even call. But again, you're right. These
He's
are
calling
so
her
fake.
on the anniversary of Brenda's death, his daughter, to be like,
Yeah.
would you mourn with me for the woman I left your mother for?
He's like, look, I know this is tough on you, but you don't understand the kind of stuff Brenda could do with her tongue. I thought I had 4 balls. I don't know how she was doing it. You know how people juggle and it looks like 2 balls or 4? She was doing that with them in my mouth. I don't know how it was even possible. And she's like, all right, Dad, I'm hanging up. Yeah, I know that is fucking wild. And I think, look, if you're a real person, which you're not, you're right, Will. Listen, but at the same time, be Brenda a little bit and cut your dad off a little. Like when he starts talking about Brenda, just hang up on his bitch ass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like your dad's over. Hang out with him a couple times a year, whatever. Get something out of it for you, but it's never going to change. You know what I mean? Like whatever happened between them was magical in a way that you're never going to be able to combat. This man does not understand.
I think,
your
like
feelings.
Everyone could use a little more Brenda in their personality and a little less
Brenda.
of this father.
Yeah. You're right. You're right. It's not about fuck your mom. It's fuck your dad. Be Brenda. Fuck your dad. Find some guy you don't love to. I hope Brenda took his money. That's the other thing. How did Brenda die before this guy? I feel like she was younger. You'd think, but who knows?
Probably. I mean, I think it's that kind of skills. They come at a cost.
You're right. You burn bright. You burn bright.
Exactly.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right. Next letter. This is titled "Cheated On with a Game." I recently moved in with my partner. Everything is going great except one thing: her video game addiction. Before we were living together, I supported the hobby because it helped her process her emotions and escape the world, which can be very tough on her. But now I find myself struggling to get her attention and feeling ignored. It's to the point where she brought the game to Christmas with my family and was checked out of conversations because she was playing the game. I can't tell if it's unfair to me. I can't tell if it's unfair of me to feel this way. After all, this is what helps her unwind and relax. Is it fair to ask her to limit when she plays, and how do I go about asking?
Okay, first of all, what the fuck does this bitch do that she needs to unwind this much? What is she on the fucking? Is she Jeremy Renner in fucking the fuck was that movie? She's not on the bomb squad. You know what I mean? Like
Hurt Locker,
yeah. Hurt Locker. She probably is a graphic designer. You know what I mean? It's like shit wasn't that hard. Her days are not that difficult. So yeah, no, that's fucking ridiculous. I do like the spin on it that it's a girl gamer.
Yeah. I mean, I was gonna say, like, I don't know what this guy's complaining about. He's hit the jackpot. He's got a gamer GF.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like she's not trying to talk to you or anything. She's just trying to play fucking Animal Crossing. I mean, that's the other thing that this letter lacks is he doesn't let you know what the game is. Because like
Right.
my answer to him would be based on what game she's playing.
Of course.
Because if it's like, if it's like Animal Crossing or like Stardew Valley or one of those girl games, awful. Get it out of here. Tell her to fucking straighten up and that she doesn't need to unwind that much.
Yeah. What if we have kids?
But if she's gaming hard. She's gaming that Puro. She's playing fucking, I don't know.
Yeah.
Red Dead Redemption or Dark Souls or fucking Call of Duty or something.
If she's trying to if she has a sick car in GTA 5. You know what I mean? If she's just going around playing GTA 5 online, killing like little Mexican teenagers and hearing them yell at her through the thing, you know what I mean? Like if she's making ethnic children pissed off on Grand Theft Auto 5, that's hilarious. That's one of the best things you can do. But yeah, it's also like this guy sounds like a fucking loser because he doesn't even know what the game is, so he sucks, right? I'm honestly on the girlfriend side. Yeah. Gamers unite, obviously. And it's like, what, he sounds boring. What if his family sucks dick?
Of course.
It's like, come on, I'm trying to game, bro. So I think, I don't know. And also, what's the other thing this guy has to recognize is what is the hotness ratio here, right? Is this woman way hot? Did you snag a hot gamer girl and you're just some fucking schlub? Then shut the fuck up and count your lucky stars that she's not on Twitch making money and getting people simping for her left and right. You're lucky if she's hotter than you. You're lucky she's off. She's offline gaming. You don't want, the last thing you want to do is push her into some other direction. You know what I mean? Keep her to yourself. Let her game in solitude. Now, if you think you could be doing better, if you used to fuck a lot and this is annoying to you, these are the trade-offs you have to make in life, you know? You have to, I do think though, let's say it's just an equal, they're both about in each other's, wheelhouse.
Attractiveness quotient. Yeah.
Sure, and they're both the same amount of cool, whatever. Yeah, you could ask her to fucking chill out a little bit, but it's like, also for what? You better have a fucking activity, bro. You can't be like, stop gaming, and then it's like, I just thought we could talk.
Yeah.
Boo, that sucks. Okay? Yeah. You need to have a movie lined up. You need to have a dinner fucking planned. You need to have something to do. Because the other flip side is, what if this guy's fucking boring as hell? What if he sucks and she needs to get through this? And if you're still smashing, maybe the video games are the only thing allowing you to get pussy.
That's true. He really needs to think about that. So
there's a lot of elements.
Yeah, that if she wasn't gaming, she would just be out of there because of how much of a fucking dud he is.
Yeah. So you can ask her to game a little less, but you got to have something lined up for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got to say, for all the boyfriends out there, keep your girlfriend out of the Discord server. These hoes are choosing in there. They're getting took left and right. They're getting groomed on Discord. People are losing out. Hold on to what you've got.
I honestly do not even understand what Discord is. Everyone keeps talking about it.
It's just a chat room.
It's like a chat room, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like if you log on, you're like, I'm playing this game, and then your friends can squat up with you or whatever, and then you can also like become a Nazi and trade child pornography. I assume that's what's going on.
It's got a lot of different applications, it sounds like.
Yeah.
So essentially it started so that you could all talk while you're gaming.
Yeah.
And then it took on a life of its own. I got you. Thank you. That's a good, I've been confused for basically 2 years about what it is. So this is good.
All right. Next question. This one is titled "The Elephant in the Family." I recently got married and just spent my first Christmas with my partner's family. One of my mother-in-law's traditions is buying everyone in the family the same gift from the store where she works, an outdoorsy lifestyle brand. This year, she chose to buy everyone coats from an expensive brand that stops at an XL. I'm plus-sized, and the coat didn't even come close to fitting. She prefaced giving me the gift by saying she worried it wouldn't fit, then had me try it on in front of everyone, which was humiliating. To top it off, several members of the family have recently lost large amounts of weight, and their weight loss was celebrated by my mother-in-law. All day, fat people were derided as unattractive, while fitness and thinness were held up as the ideal. I spent a good chunk of the evening hiding in the basement crying. I feel like I quite literally don't fit into my spouse's family. If this were any other relationship, I would explain to her that I would prefer that she not buy me clothing as her store does not carry my size. But she is extremely petite and is of the belief that fatness is the result of a lack of willpower. So I really don't want to open that conversational door. What can I do to prevent future miserable Christmases?
Wow. So I'm sorry. This is a woman or a man?
I think a woman. I'm not sure though. It doesn't really.
The crying. I hope it's. I mean, not to be toxically masculine. I hope it's a woman. If someone like a man crying because his coat didn't fit, I'm enlightened and everything, but that's tough for an adult to be doing.
Yeah.
That's obviously brutal because there are plenty of these dumb bitches that think that think they're being nice. Like she probably thought it's like, this will be good for her. But also this is on your fucking husband. Let's be honest. If you know what I mean? Like you can't be, obviously the mom is a dumb bitch and for not even thinking this through, especially your first Christmas. You be thinking about, you would think if she's a good mother-in-law, she would be particularly thinking about, first married Christmas, whatever. But yeah, you can't, this isn't on you. This is the whole point of marriage, is there's some things you can just dump off on your spouse, and letting him handle his dumb bitch of a mother, that's number one on the list of things that he should be handling.
Yeah, like in all advice column like questions, like one of the most common like thing that people are seeking advice about are in-laws, and the answer to virtually all of them is it's not the in-laws' fault. It's your bitch ass spouse for not like controlling their parents.
100%.
Because like they're still afraid of their mom or dad or something, and they go, like that's just the way they are. I can't tell them otherwise.
Yeah, and that's brutal. I mean, if you're an adult who can't tell their parent they need to chill out, that's almost more disappointing than having a mother-in-law that gives an inconsiderate gift is like, oh no, my husband is a bitch. Like that.
You know the mother-in-law was like, oh, like I'm getting her the biggest size, but like I know it's too small for her, but like or him. But I'm giving them this as it's like something to work towards.
Yeah,
is sliding into this like athleisure brand coat.
And I can tell you, as if putting myself in that position, I would just be like, oh, I would be like, wow, thanks, and just never wear it, and just put in my mind, I'm like, that's a tally for Cynthia is a dumb bitch. You know what I mean? Like I would just, but then you can't let it. I mean, I'm guessing it's a woman. You just, obviously she made you feel bad and you were trying to, just trying to have a good Christmas. But now you're armed with the knowledge that she's going to do some shit like this. And you have to so you know what to like expect from somebody like this. Right. And so you're armed with that knowledge going into future holidays.
I think this is a case of like, don't get mad, get even. If your mother-in-law is a bitch and she gives you an inconsiderate present and she humiliates you in front of the family, you just got to like let it roll off you. Like you said, just be like, oh, thank you for the coat. It's lovely. I can't wait to wear it. Just throw that shit out, donate it, never fucking wear it, never think about it. But just begin planning. What gag gift will you get this skinny bitch for Christmas next year?
Yes.
Like get her like a subscription fudge service or something like that. Just tempt her.
Oh, I like what you're saying, Will. I think the fudge service sparks something in my mind because ostensibly this woman has grandchildren, right? You'd think, and if so, this you got to start thinking long term. You got to get all your nieces and nephews fat as shit. you got to make this woman have an entire family of plus size motherfuckers. Okay, all the good spots. You know what I'm saying? Start taking your nephews out for fucking.
Yeah.
If this was me, right? And look, maybe we have different fat experiences than the reader. But if it's me, I'm introducing my nieces and nephews to the fat lifestyle. We're getting fucked up. I guess I can't get them on edibles, but we're going to a Chinese buffet. You know what I mean? Young, early.
You buy and you can buy them all party guy Hawaiian style shirts, button-ups, in the summertime. Shirts. Like that's the dress code. That's the uniform 100%. Right there.
And it's not just. And I'm waking them up and feeding them like it's $1 Million Baby. Like when a fucking actor tries to put on weight to play Thor or whatever. I'm not just feeding them. I'm waking them up in the middle of the night and feeding them fucking Ensure. You know what I'm like? I'm getting them another serving of calories.
Get them on the diet, like the diet shake lifestyle, but instead of diet shakes, it's just milkshakes.
It's milkshakes,
just regular milkshakes.
But no, it's also protein. We're bulking them up. We're fucking getting them big, brother. And they're children, so they could probably get fat quick. You know what I mean? Like 10 pounds on a fucking 4-year-old. That's a lot of fucking weight. You could in a weekend get these kids so fucking fat that this lady will want to fucking go crazy. So you can weaponize her anti-fatness and make her feel like a fucking idiot. And that you got to get her a fun fat family. That's how you get even for sure. And then also look, and then the other way, it's like you got to check what's your husband or wife made of. Can they check their mom? Because if they can't, you got bigger problems, sister, than just an XL coat. You might also want to, does this woman have any enemies? Because if she does, you might want to give them the coat. You know what I mean? This could be like a Soprano situation where April sees the like housekeeper's husband in the leather coat that he loves so much. You have to give this coat to somebody that she would find disrespectful. Is this person racist? Sounds like, we got a nice anti-whatever. Usually they run in pairs. You know what I mean? Most people that aren't accepting of one thing tend to not be accepting of something else. Is that homophobic? Is that racism? If they're homophobic, give it to the fattest XL gay man you can find. You know what I mean? Like figure something out.
Donate to like the winter coat drive at the local bear bar.
Yeah. Or do one better. Donate it to somebody who's going to film gay pornography in the coat. Let them cut out a little ass section and get fucked in the ass through the coat. You got a lot of options, sister. All right, fatten up the family. Donate this coat to something they would find objectionable.
All right, here's the last Dear Prudie question, and it's a good one. This is a common problem that plagues mankind. So here we go. Dear Prudence, I have been in a good marriage for more than a decade, and we have what I consider to be a normal, loving sexual relationship. Can you guess where this letter is going to go?
What I would consider? So basically, the other person does not consider.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah. I suck off anyone I want, whenever I want, and they aren't allowed to fuck anyone else.
Here we go. With one major exception, my wife has never achieved orgasm with me.
Never.
But other than that, Mrs. Lincoln.
Not even by accident, bro. What the fuck?
She has always told me it is not a big deal to her, although we have certainly tried, and it is something we have discussed repeatedly. She is able to achieve orgasm by herself, but never with me, and she said never with any other man. A few nights ago, she accidentally let slip that she did achieve orgasm with her ex-husband. Upon further discussion, it turns out it happened many times and very easily. I'm devastated. Why did she never tell me before, given the number and intensity of our discussions on the issue? Am I such a wretched lover that I am hopeless? She feels that since her ex cheated on her, her defensive walls went up and she won't let herself be vulnerable or trusting enough. I am in quite a tailspin, and she recognizes how deeply I am hurt by this admission, and she feels terrible about it. But it's not something that's going to be easy to push out of either of our minds when we try next. Help!
Oh my fucking God, that's brutal. This man has some of the worst dick of all time. Never, dude.
Yeah,
and look, at first I was like, okay, there's definitely some women. You come across some people that just have a really hard time busting, right?
Yeah.
And for some women, just whatever, you got to really fucking get in there. Your shoulder is sore from finger popping by the end of an affair. Your jaw feels like you've been chewing on beef jerky for an hour straight after you're eating pussy. You know what I mean? Some people get a toy in the mix, whatever. That does happen. Or some people can only come penetratively. Some people, whatever. So I was like, all right, maybe he just luck of the draw. His wife can't bust that easily and whatever. But for it to never happen, and for her to just like easily bust with her ex-husband, yeah, he should be devastated. I mean, this is a real. You have to look inward, bro. This is not her fault.
Yeah, this is an example of like, yeah, you're right. Like this guy, he should be devastated. I don't know that there's a solution to his problem.
Yeah, you just got it. I mean, we talked about Madison. We opened the episode with Madison Cawthorn having to fucking learn how to eat pussy. I mean, this goes quadruple for this man. I mean, you're about to end up like fucking old Cawthorn, my friend. You're about to get dumped by your wife if you don't quickly learn how to make her bust. Also, damn, dude, we have women in America, or just I guess in the world. This woman married a man who couldn't make her bust. She married this fucking guy. Imagine dating. That's so funny. Imagine as a dude, you date someone. And the first 10 times you fuck, you don't bust. You're like, all right, well, we had a nice run, but what the fuck am I doing here? You know what I mean? It's like this woman this guy never came close.
I mean, this goes back to the letter about the Brenda letter about the dad leaving the wife for the stripper.
Right. This man needs to really get his Brenda up.
Well, I mean, he needs to get his Brenda up, but like in the letter, he discloses that his wife was like with her ex-husband, who she was knocking him out like
he was just knocking that pussy.
Yeah,
loose.
It was just like on a fucking T-ball, it was just fucking grand slam every time. But he cheated on her. And she's like, oh, like, my defensive walls are up, and it's just like, oh, like I can't feel vulnerable again or whatever. Here's the brutal part about this. And
I know where you're going. I think I know where you're going, but please.
The ex-husband who cheated on her, she's going to be thinking about when she's like old.
Oh yeah.
And like that's 100%. The love of her. The guy who treated her like shit, cheated on her, but was laying down good pipe, will annihilate the dutiful, loyal, faithful man every 100%. Single time.
And not only that, the fact that she's bouncing back from getting cheated on and ends up with you means that you're a loser. You know what I mean? You're a safe pick. You're not gonna hurt her, and that matters. I mean, on some level, that's nice because that matters so much to her that trash cock didn't even factor into the equation. Like the fact that you're so safe, you don't even have. But it's like, yeah, man, you gotta fucking step your game up. And look, I think it's possible for you to learn how to fuck, but you're gonna have to really believe in yourself because, I don't know.
He needs like a Rocky training montage of him. And you know what? Like I think you may need to seek professional help here, a pro or a semi-pro. I think you gotta like, because you're focusing on your wife too much and like your inability to get her off. But I think you need to get like, just get a few notches on the old belt.
Absolutely.
Knock out a few.
He does have to cheat. I agree with
he's got to cheat.
No, you're right.
For the sake of the marriage, he's got to cheat on her.
You have to go to one of those sex therapists that's, okay, you're a therapist. But, you know what I mean? Like, who sucks you off. Like, he needs some of that. He needs to learn moves. I mean, or if he's like, congenitally incapable of learning moves or pleasing a woman in any way, just for the sake of God, for the love of God, just get one of those Hitachis. Because like any woman can come in like 10 seconds flat. Sure,
it's like with RoboCop getting them off. It's
I'm
like,
shocked.
As long as you're holding it,
Yes.
like it's just you're involved. Like it's it's
don't you think
it's a
they've tried
cheat
that,
code.
Will?
It's a cheat code. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know.
But it sounds like you don't think you would have tried a fucking toy at some point? I don't get it. Like so you get a toy in the mix sometimes. It's like whatever, it fucking happens. But I just feel like he's absolutely. I'm with you. If they haven't tried toy, you got to go toy immediately.
I just think like they have one of those like high pressure shower heads, and he's like, my wife is always in there. She takes showers for hours. What's she doing in there,
dude? I honestly would love. I truly would love videotape of these people fucking scientifically. Like I'm not trying to beat off to it. I'll wear mittens with locks on them if you give me. You know what I mean? Like. Whatever you want to do, I'm not going to jack off to this. I need to watch it like a scientist. Because how? I want to watch different angles. I want to try. I want to see them try. I want to see a regular day. I want to see when he goes all out. I need to see a picture of this man's penis. I'll tell you that much. And I need numbers. I need numbers on how long he's eating pussy because. And this is a motif. We've talked about it before, the daredevil thing, whatever. But it's kind of like in sports, like defense and hustle, right? It's like sometimes some people don't have God-given abilities, right? You're not going to have a nice dick. Even if you have a nice one, it might not stay hard. Your stroke might be off. But everyone can finger pop and eat pussy. That's hustle and defense.
It's called coachability.
It's coachability, rebounding, doing the little things. Is he doing that? It's not.
The way that he said at the beginning of the letter that I thought we had a satisfying sexual relationship. And knowing at the time that meant she was never coming, I think that means he's not giving it his all.
You're right. And this guy cannot fuck, and he's completely in his own world for thinking they had a good relationship or sexual relationship. And unfortunately, so much of attraction and people even people coming is intangible, and it comes down to do you have any sauce whatsoever? Or does this person, not even if you don't, sometimes for some reason, something's working for somebody else, right? Like, but this guy is completely swagless. He's being cut from the grave by a guy who cheated on her. Like, she's beating off thinking about that guy. He's got nothing.
Well, she's clearly got something. She's clearly frustrated with it because I would really like to know the context where she accidentally let it slip that her ex-husband made her come.
Right. That's how the hell does that come up? She's not doing a crossword puzzle.
And not just one time. Because if it were one time, you could be like, oh, it's like, it was a leap year or whatever. This was like, no, he was getting her off every single time.
Oh, yeah. No, and the more I think about it, I guess actually if the reader, the only honorable thing to do is cut his dick off and commit seppuku. Because he's just not good at fucking. We can spin our wheels here, but
I know. It's just, there's just, there's only so much advice you can give someone.
And by the way, it wasn't just her ex-husband. Like, it's not a bunch of other guys made her bust. There's no way.
She was going off like the fucking challenger until she met this fucking loser.
This guy also, what is his history before the marriage?
Right.
Like, he has to ask himself those questions.
Yes, so true, Matt. That's great. We need to know what his bust quotient was before this relationship.
What's his average? What's his slugging percentage here?
Some people, you just gotta be a come to fuck every day kind of player.
Absolutely.
You gotta bring your lunch pail and a hard hat when you're going in on that pussy.
100%, dude. 100%.
All right. Well, that's the end of the Dear Prudie, but I'd like to get into this rather insane New York Times article that's also about hating your spouse and being in an unhappy marriage. but it's framed as like, hey, this is a good thing. Isn't everyone's marriage like this? It's called Marriage Requires Amnesia. Do I hate my husband? Oh, for sure, yes, definitely.
Damn.
This is by Heather Havrleski, and
Okay.
I mean, like, actually, Chris, Google Heather Havrleski husband right now. I want to see this guy. All right. So, all right, it begins like this. After 15 years of marriage, you start to see your mate clearly, free of your own projections and misperceptions. This is not necessarily a good thing. When encountering my husband, Bill, in our shared habitat, I sometimes experience him as a tangled hill of dirty laundry. Who left this here, I ask myself, and then the laundry gets up to fetch itself a cup of coffee. This is not an illusion, it's clarity. Until Bill has enough coffee, he lies in a jumble on the couch, listening to the coffee maker, waiting for it to usher him from the land of the undead. He is exactly the same heap of laundry, smelly, inert, almost sentient, but not quite.
Damn.
So
She's fucking roasting me.
So Bill is getting real.
Fuck the quote tweets just right out there in the fucking column. God damn it.
What if Bill's diary? He's like, I just love our mornings where we get to chill out and just. I'm with my beautiful wife, and then we just get ready for the day, and then I'm just energized, and just that coffee and her smile, just I'm ready to go. Like, that's the thing. It's like they might have a fine relationship, but if you're writing about somebody like this, something's up. Like that's brutal.
Yeah, you can't. It's just like
that's brutal.
I think a good piece of advice in all relationships, in all romantic relationships, like long-term ones, is that, like, even if your partner is annoying you or you disagree with them, you should never take the opposite side. You should never, like, humiliate them in public. You should never, like, or argue in public, or like take them down a little. Wait till you get home. 100%. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to hold your tongue, but, like, writing a New York Times op-ed about my inert, smelly lump of a husband
totally
is
brutal.
It's just you could have that conversation in private.
100%. And maybe part of this is just like the fucking pandemic and nothing to write about. So you're like, yeah, my fucking husband's a piece of shit. Who fucking cares? But I don't know, man. This is tough. Let's see. I'm trying to find what this guy fucking looks like.
All right, well, I'm going to continue. It says here, other times I experience Bill as a very handsome professor, a leader among men, a visionary who has big ideas about the future of science education in America. This is clarity. And then our dashing hero begins to hold forth on the learning sciences. How I hate that term. And he quickly wilts before my eyes into a cursed academic, a cross between a lonely nerd seeking some archaic language only 5 other people on Earth understand, and a haunted ice cream man, circling his truck through the neighborhood in the dead of winter, searching for children. I see Bill with a scorching clarity that pains me.
Oh my God, bro. She put one good sentence. There's one sentence where he's like, he's pretty good. He's fucking good at his job. First of all, he's dirty. He's a pile of cum socks. He's also good. He's a good professor. Also, he's in an ice cream truck trying to molest children or something. I don't even. Like, what the fuck was that about?
She's like, if you think she's gonna pull it back, because, like, sometimes he seems like a visionary thinker and a leader of men. Yeah. But then it quickly dissipates, and I'm imagining him as John Wayne Gacy, fucking like patrolling a neighborhood.
Yeah, clown makeup smearing his disgusting pockmarked face that I can't believe I let kiss me at night. It's just like, come on, what the hell is going on here? Okay, so the ratio is tough right now. It's like one nice sentence to like 2 paragraphs of. Honestly, she's a good writer. She's roasting this fucking guy. She's torching him.
This sentence right here, I see Bill with a scorching clarity that pains me. Oof.
Oh, basically everyone's fucking nightmare to have that, to know that that's happening, and then for everyone else on America to find out that that's happening. Yeah, that's not at all a nightmare.
I'm imagining, like you said, Stav, I'm imagining Bill and Heather getting up on like a Sunday. They have the Sunday New York Times, and they're like, "Oh, like I love having a cup of coffee with my wife. I love her more than I've ever after 15 years of marriage." And then she's just like, "All right, there's some in the op-ed section that might interest you." And he's like, "Oh boy,
oh my God,
I can't see with what scorching precision every fault of mine will be laid bare for the readership of the New York Times."
Good Christ, that's brutal. How much? What else she got on? Okay, she goes, Billy boy.
This is why surviving a marriage requires turning down the volume on your spouse so you can barely hear what they're saying. You must do this not only so that you don't overdose on the same stultifying words and phrases within the first year, but also so your spouse's various grunts and sneezes and snorts and throat clearings don't serve as a magic flute that causes you to wander out the front door and into the wilderness, never to return.
Jesus Christ. This is awesome, dude.
Okay, like, I mean, I know she isn't seeking advice, but like my advice to her and him is to fuck other people.
100%.
Like, open up this marriage, because like, I mean, like, this is the only way that you're gonna fucking like just let off, like, loosen that steam valve and just let off some of that fucking pressure.
And maybe in 15 years you deserve to go fuck somebody else and come back. It probably wouldn't even be that hard to you come back. You're not changing your whole life because you got some dick on the side. You got a nice little routine going, and maybe all those grunts don't annoy you so much.
Yeah,
but it also could just be that she hates her husband.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, it
also could be they need to get divorced.
I feel like, like, just like, when she got some strange or whatever, she'd be looking at his grunts and squeals, and she'd be like, "Oh, Josh Gad provided those. Yeah, how adorable."
Oh shit, Chris coming through.
Okay, let's see here. Oh, okay, looks good.
Is that him? That's a cute guy. It's not him, is it?
I think it must be their kids or something.
Yeah, it must be their kids.
Yeah,
whatever. I mean,
all right. So she goes here. When Bill sneezes, no matter how far away he is, it's like a blast from an air horn aimed at your face. Somehow,
why the fuck is this in the New York Times? Like, that's the craziest part of all this. It's like, look, everyone can. And I also love that she's just become like a male comic from the 80s, which is like, my dumb bitch husband. He fucking sneezes. He's fucking dirty. I mean, it's really, we flipped all the way where it's like, that's just become, now women get to do that about their dumb bitch husbands.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry to cut you off. It's just crazy that, you're right, Will. You said it earlier. Why the fuck? I mean, don't put this out in the fucking New York Times.
My God. At least do what they did in the mid-century, develop an alcohol problem, and then write a thinly veiled novel.
Yeah.
Where all of the things you hate about your husband are put on a fictional character. And then when he reads it, he says, "Is that me?" And you go, "No, honey, of course not."
It's Dr. Wilchester.
Some fucking dignity, for God's sake.
It's like a Richard Yates novel or something.
Yeah, exactly.
So he goes here. Bill also clears his throat constantly. He's just a phlegmy guy in general. I can almost imagine I can almost get away with being this mean about him because he has remained the same amount of smart and kind and extremely attractive that he was when I met him 17 years ago. This is just how it feels to be doomed to live and eat and sleep next to the same person until you're dead. Because the resolution on your spouse becomes clearer and clearer by the day, you must find compensatory ways to blur and pixelate them back into a soft, muted, fairly fantastical fog. I mean, like, I think like that way of like lowering the resolution on your spouse. I mean, I think this is a pitch perfect argument for being polyamorous or just cheating, or not even being polyamorous. Just cheat and don't tell the guy about it. Yeah,
that like that's one thing that the French have absolutely figured out is you just get to cheat. You get it. Oh, your family
men and women equally. Like
exactly,
it's okay.
You get to fucking cheat, but the family is separate from all that. But I mean, almost everything she has said, it's a couple words here and there that really turn it up into like doomed. If she hadn't said the word doomed, it's like that's what really is fucking blowing my mind. It's like, what the like that's how you look at this is like you're just fucking you cannot get out of this. Like isn't it supposed to be a nice thing that you have a fucking husband?
Doomed. You cannot be doomed to anything other than a on balance miserable experience.
Yeah, exactly.
You can be like chained to a way of being, like the thing that's not going to change and you know it. But if you say you're doomed to it, you are letting everyone know that this sucks.
No one's ever
whatever
like,
good pleasure I get out of this is dwarfed by the amount of misery I feel.
Yeah, no one's ever like, oh, I'm doomed to get high and watch Goodfellas. I am doomed to my fate of ordering a Chipotle burrito with double guac and chips after this podcast. I'm like, this is fucking ridiculous. Anyway, let's finish her up. What else she got?
Do I hate my husband? Oh, for sure. Yes, definitely. I don't know anyone who's been married more than 7 years who flinches at this concept. A spouse is a blessing and a curse wrapped into one. How can it be otherwise? How is hatred not the natural outcome of sleeping so close to another human for years? Unless you plug a propofol drip into your arm every night, how do you encounter those unwelcome grunts and gravelly snores as anything but oppressive? Unless you spend most of your waking hours daydreaming, how do you tolerate this meddling presence? Rearranging stuff but never actually putting it away, opening bills but never actually paying them, shedding his tissues and dirty socks all over your otherwise pristine habitat? Oh my God.
That's fucking wild, bro.
All right, so
I
gotta,
don't like your husband.
Yeah, I got to skip ahead here because she talks a lot about a trip to Australia that they took. That you can imagine, like, you're a doomed, stultifying marriage. Yeah, let's combine that with 26 hours on a plane together. See how that goes. So it goes. Excuse me.
You phlegmy bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
You're sounding like Bill, dude.
Who needs to be cheerful when the plane to Sydney is delayed by 8 hours at midnight? Who speaks calmly when one kid starts sobbing uncontrollably? Who pretends that Doritos and almonds make a fun late-night dinner at the airport newsstand? Who manages all of the reservations and the money and the plans through a jet-lagged haze once we finally arrive in Australia? Who books the flights and ferries and researches the eco-friendly island retreat on the Great Barrier Reef? Who talks cheerfully through each unpredictable tour, through each Australian town full of unpredictable Australian relatives her husband hasn't seen for decades? Who engages in the 105th hour of an ongoing discussion about Bill's bad knee, which includes speculation, revised imaginary diagnoses, and in-depth analysis of a level of pain that she herself would file under not worth mentioning at all, ever, not even for a second.
Damn, bitch.
And when we arrive at the island in the Great Barrier Reef, the one populated at this time of year by thousands of birds squawking and cawing and clucking and screeching, birds every 2 feet, bird droppings covering literally every inch of ground. Who makes up a game where the first person to get hit by flying bird poop wins an ice cream cone? Who says it's okay for one kid not to snorkel? Who says it's okay for both kids to snorkel without her since she gets seasick? Who goes snorkeling anyway because both kids want mommy there since daddy will ignore them because he's super jacked to snorkel the hell out of the Great Barrier Reef? Who asks the snorkeling guide if she'd better off on the boat if she starts to feel queasy? Who smiles when the snorkeling guide says in his cavalier Australian tough guy accent that he's not sure because he never met anyone who got seasick from snorkeling before? Who bites her tongue instead of asking the snorkeling dude if he has eyes in his thick skull, since obviously plenty of mortal humans over the age of 40 feel ill when they bob on massive swells while looking down 50 feet into a murky shark-filled abyss? And then, who gets sick as predicted but doesn't say a single word about it, even as a wave of colorful fish swarms the scene and everyone marvels and wonders why they suddenly appeared like magic? Oh.
Once again,
what do you mean?
How is this in the New York Times? Literally, extra, my husband sucks.
It's also like, what do you mean doesn't say a word about it? You're putting out a fucking op-ed about it. You should have said something then. Maybe your fucking dumbass husband would know you didn't like this behavior if you had fucking brought it up on vacation instead of waiting 2 years and writing about it in the biggest fucking newspaper in the fucking world, you fucking asshole.
I don't know if you caught it, but at the end there, she boots over the side of the boat while her husband and kids are snorkeling, and then like a school of colorful fish surround them because the fish are there to eat her vomit.
The vomit, yeah. What a hero. God damn.
Oh God, it goes on and on and on like this, but it goes.
That's wild, bro. What the fuck what is Bill saying today, dude?
Yes, like that. The only way
Did he cheat?
Demand closure here. We need a Bill op-ed, a reply. Yeah. I need to know what's Bill's deal.
Maybe Bill's just a chill bloke, honestly.
Yeah, I
could be. There's plenty of like insanely annoying women and like the chillest guy you've ever met in your life couples. And I suppose the opposite is probably true as well. But I've met plenty of just like, you're like, how does anyone put up with this person? And their partner is just like zen. You know what I mean? So that could be what's going on here. That's a possibility.
Yeah, like he read the article and he's just like, how about that? You're in the paper.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's interesting. Anyway, my knee's fucking kind of acting up again.
All right, so she goes on and on and on, but I'm just going to skip it to the end here. It says, surviving a marriage requires self-care, time alone, time away, meditation, escape, selfishness. She's just describing cheating. All of those things describe cheating on your spouse.
Surviving, again, just like Doomed, surviving a marriage. It's like, no one told you have to be married.
Yeah.
Just like, there's no gun to your fucking head. I mean, I know you have kids or whatever, but it's
no fault divorce is a thing. It's pretty much the standard in half the country. It goes here, I can't blame him for being high strung. I tell myself on a walk around the island alone, headphones on, bird poop raining down every few feet. I can't get mad just because he's a regular mortal with flaws. When I blame him, I just feel guilty, and then I start to blame myself. But I'm just a regular mortal with flaws too. After several nights on the island, Bill and I start to tell the kids to walk back to the hotel room after dinner and use their phones for as long as they want. Then we have a drink and stare at the ocean without them. We talk about each kid's breakdown of the day. What did the older one hate today? Which decision did the younger one question? During these talks, I encourage Bill to be more like me. Give up control. Relax. Let these birds make their noises, and they'll quiet down quickly. When you treat them like they're doing it wrong, it only gets worse. But Bill doesn't learn new lessons that quickly. He studies the learning sciences, but he is not a good learner. So I resolve to let everyone squawk and caw until they get bored or become distracted or fall asleep or cheer up. And when Bill says the wrong thing, I think, forgive him, forgive yourself, let it go. It's harder than it sounds, but during these conversations, Bill looks handsome to me again. He sounds like someone I'm still in love with. The feeling comes back, the camera zooms in, the focus sharpens, charming little details emerge. I remember why I chose him. In spite of everything, he's still my favorite person. I can see why we're together.
God damn, how much does she hate every other person she has ever met? Holy fuck.
The last line of the piece is, we might stay this way forever.
Oh, man. No, you're not.
Yeah, I mean,
just
look,
cheat. Just cheat.
It's not forever. I mean, you're going to die.
Yeah, someone's going to die. Take heart.
And in most couples, it's usually the guy.
Right.
That's true.
By insurance actuarial tables, women live quite a bit longer than men do, especially ones who are in marriages.
Yeah, there you go. It's also like that like little 4-sentence wrap up is just not enough to counteract the whole rest of that article. She's really going in on this motherfucker.
No, I was sort of secretly hoping that it would get to the end and she'd be like, he smells. He's a bad parent. He's not a good listener. The bird shit on me. He didn't care. But his fucking dick game is so strong. I'm fucking addicted, man. I'm never leaving this shit.
Yeah, maybe he's a Brenda, bro. That could really be it. Most Brendas are fucking annoying and like you hate almost everything about them, but could be. That could be the running theme here. Maybe Bill is Brenda-fied.
Yeah, she needs to drop that though at the end to just redeem this whole thing.
Yeah.
But the dick game is too strong.
Because if I was the Bill in this scenario, Kill Bill, is what she should have called this essay.
Yeah.
If I was the Bill in this essay, and it was like nearly like 3,000 words about what a fucking lame piece of shit I am and what a bad husband and partner I am, but then there was one sentence at the end about how like my dick was the bomb, I'd be like, even just as a wash. Absolutely. In fact, it's not even a wash. It's actually like net positive.
I come out on top.
Yeah, that's like. Because that's the thing. If every woman who reads the New York Times knows that you're like a really shitty husband, but the dick game incredible, then you win. You win.
That's a huge win. And in fact, if you were to try and set up starting to be poly, right? That would be a really nice setup to your husband because it's like what no one will want to like be with him, but they'll want to fuck him to try out this dick.
That's the most loving thing you could do. Just
if she was a good wife, she would have said that at the end. But
that's an underhanded softball right across the middle of the plate.
In fact, if you wanted to start cheating, that's how you do it. You set your husband up to get pussy, and then he has to let you get side dick, and your guys are good to go. She missed a huge opportunity
blew the whole
here
thing
because clearly she wants to cheat. And she could have set Bill up with that last line, but alas, what are you going to do?
Too bad.
There we go. That is the world of relationships and love. Ain't it grand? Ain't it grand, fellas? It's beautiful. Well, I think that does it for today's episode. Stavi, you got any road dates coming up? When's the special dropping?
Yeah, so the special we're still working. We're still trying to figure out exactly. It will be probably sometime in February or March. But I do have some road dates.
Where can people watch the special when it comes out?
We're figuring that out. So I might try and sell it, but there's a good chance. I really just want people to see it, and a lot of people have had success with YouTube. So we're gonna have some conversations with some places, but unless they bowl your boy over with some really fat cocked monetary numbers, I'm leaning towards releasing it on YouTube. So, but I'll have more details about that soon. I'm doing a New Year's Eve show. A little matinee at the Stand, a 6 p.m. show. If you want to come before you get really fucking sloshed and come see that show, I'll be there. And then also I'm starting a West Coast run in 2022. So I'll be in San Diego the 13th through the 15th. I'll be in Vegas the 27th through the 29th. Sacramento the 3rd through the 5th. And then we got a lot of other shit. Houston, Austin, Addison, San Francisco, Vancouver. We're doing it all, baby. And go to stavi.biz for tickets. I'm selling calendars. I have my Stavi Baby 2022 calendars. Actually, I got to get you boys some fucking cows.
Absolutely.
So buy those. And yeah, man, Stavi Baby on Stavi Baby 2 on Instagram. I believe I've been shadow banned by the powers that be for being too sexual. And Stavi Baby on Twitter, all that kind of shit. Yeah, that's all.
Stavi.biz, was that the website?
Stavi.biz.